go. We're early. We're started.
Sound is on.
The sound is on so far, but...
And good Sunday morning to everybody. How's the sound? Everybody have sound? That's what we ask for. And sometimes the best thing that can happen on this podcast is that we
do not have
we
sound?
do not have sound, okay? So if you're one of those who feel that it's best if we don't have sound, just let me know, okay? Good morning to Chris Gallo, Chris from Cambridge, Danny Fuller.
They can't hear you. None of those people can hear you, buddy.
So I thought you said we had sound.
We don't have sound. We just have... We're on live. That's what I meant. That we're live.
Okay, so what's the point of saying anything?
Just telling you that we're live. Sorry, we're starting early. We like to get the sound in the chat room before we get going.
Yeah, but
we explain this every time.
We don't have sound. You told me we have sound. Right?
Let's have a moment of silence.
So then
so people can figure out when the sound is.
I start talking.
Okay.
And then you tell me we have no sound. It makes no sense. Okay, so let's just move it right along. I keep refreshing, and let's see what happens. Coffee with the King.
That was good yesterday, and we really do appreciate King Hap and Taco doing...
There you go.
Yes,
we're on now.
Sound is good.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Sunday morning. And Sunday morning is taking on a whole new meaning. I don't know what it is, but we got football today. You remember that. Chris from Cambridge, Dad's a premier.
Gibbs is here.
Jeremy Gibbs is here. I got one for you, Jeremy Gibbs.
I have a question for
Tommy
Gibbs.
Johnston is here. Dad's a premier. We got plenty of stuff. Let's say thank you to King Hap and Taco for doing a remarkable job yesterday, and that's not the last you will hear from King Hap and from Taco. You can be assured of that. So, Andy, you had something to say?
I was going to ask Jeremy Gibbs, what was the reasoning that he told Dennis Timko to pitch Lance Lynn the other day when he had a choice of two pitchers? And I can't remember the other pitcher's name, but Dennis said that he decided to pitch Lance Lynn because of something that you told him. It sounded like some good tidbits. I just want you to share in the chat room. Also, what about college football and this Coach Prime, Deion Sanders?
Yeah, what about him?
They won in double overtime yesterday.
So Deion Sanders is one of the few people that not only can create hype, as he did in the National Football League, but he can also create it and perform it. Plenty of people can create the hype, but not too many can outperform the hype that they create. And I got to give it to Deion Sanders.
Yeah, man. Here's the thing. We were listening to... Amazon Prime just came out with a documentary called Coach Prime, which I will be seeing, but we haven't seen it yet.
Yep.
We were just hearing today that his work ethic is... like no other, and he has been like that his whole life. And so with all the coaches nowadays and the managers in baseball and football, they're just such pansies in my opinion, and they don't teach these kids to be tough. And sometimes these coaches, these managers, the best managers and coaches are the ones that are tough on these guys because it gets them to perform to their best. They learn a lot of respect for the game, about life, and you know that Deion Sanders is, I don't care what you say about him, he is bringing this team together. They are winning. He bought them all sunglasses. They have like this certain swagger about them, right? I mean, Deion Sanders, what a great, and the best part about the whole thing for me is that these media talking heads, they laughed at him. They laughed at Deion Sanders, and they chuckled at him, and they made their little snide comments and their judgmental ways. And he is proving these people wrong, which, to me, there might not be many things better.
Well, let's see what happens, and let's say hello to Leonard Donaldson. Let's say hello to Laura. Eddie Heckman, good morning to you. All right, here's a question with Jeremy Gibbs. Let me throw this one out to the chat room. Jeremy, are you ready? How many batters in Major League Baseball are hitting 300? and don't you answer it because you saw the. How many batters
I didn't even see this tidbit.
are hitting? Because I erased it.
So why can't I guess then?
How many batters are hitting 300 in Major League Baseball? Anybody want to take a shot at that one? And
Two.
All right.
1.
2, 1. Okay.
It's got to be more than
Deion
that.
Sanders played 9 seasons in Major League Baseball. Hit that. Look, Deion Sanders is great. But how many batters in Major League Baseball today are hitting 300 or more? Okay, let's see who can come up with that one.
I'll say less than 10.
Chris from Cambridge says 25. Eddie Heckman says good morning. Come on there. Let's go there, Gibbs. What do you got? Okay. Now, here's the other question. Today or yesterday was the first day since the extra innings ghost runner was introduced in 2020 that we actually had 2 13 or more inning games in one day. Okay?
I mean, I don't know if that has anything to do with it.
What?
How often have we had 2 games that have gone 13 or more innings in one day? How often does that happen regardless of the ghost runner?
It happens, but the ghost runner was put into effect to avoid the extra inning games. And it looks like they have done it. 2 13 or more inning games in one day, and that was the first time.
Good morning, Big Al on the prowl, Chris
Big
Gallo,
Al,
triple
SM
play,
SM King Turd is here.
Danny, Captain Danny, and Penny.
The answer is 9. 9 people in Major League Baseball are hitting 300.
Okay, that's a good tidbit.
And
Danny says 9.
And where does Ohtani rank in batting average in Major League Baseball?
First? No,
No,
he can't.
come on, Andrea.
I'm sorry, Luis Arias has to be first.
Yeah,
right?
but where does Ohtani ranks number 9? All right?
Okay.
In batting average in Major League Baseball.
So he must be batting 300.
And yesterday we had a whole big deal, and you've talked about this many times. All of a sudden, stop everything. Shohei Ohtani has packed his bags and he's left. They made it seem like he was going to fight everybody before he left. They made it seem it was a major thing. They made it seem like Ohtani was rebelling against baseball, certainly against the Angels. Ohtani packs his bags and leaves. And we don't know the whole details. We'll tell you about it. He punched everybody in the mouth. No. You talk about it. I've talked about it. And we have a friend of ours whose name will remain nameless, who tells us that they make the writers. Their job is to send out stories.
Well, Taco brought it up yesterday on the podcast. He asked you straight up, are they just trying to make drama out of Ohtani right now?
Of course, because all that happened was Ohtani got a bad report on his on an oblique injury, taking him out for the season. So why would you stick around? Because you want to watch the game? Well, the game was over. He was done. He packed his bags and he left. The media made it sound, Ohtani packed his bags and decided to leave the Angels.
And a bunch of jokers.
It was very bad. He was not planning to finish out the season anyway, but I'll tell you what, the way he left yesterday, they made such a big deal. We're all waiting to find out who he hit and everything else. So
good morning to Eddie and Teresa.
Yep, Ohtani, who will miss the final 25 games.
James K. is here. And
the question now becomes, will he still win the MVP? Now, Ohtani has 44 home runs, 95 RBIs, 304 batting average. It's the combination of his pitching stats and his hitting stats.
And they're both like top notch. I mean, look.
Yeah.
Just as a batter, if you have 44 homers and please don't. I was looking at your screen.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead. Just
as a batter, if you have 95 RBI, 44 homers, he's batting 304 with a 1.066 OPS. Right. That alone is good enough. But his pitching stats, batting average against 184, ERA 314, 167 strikeouts.
Yep, okay, he's done very well. But the question is, and I've said this too many times already, should Major League Baseball redefine most valuable player? You got some great players who are propelling their teams to big time heights. We're talking about Matt Olson. We're talking about teams on winning teams who are propelling their teams to great heights. Should the most valuable player award be to the best player? Who's the best player? Is it Ohtani is the best player? But who's the most valuable player? I know I've talked about this before. I'm not going to say it again.
You're still saying it.
Well, I'm not saying it anymore. I mean, even Corey Seager. Corey Seager's batting is taking Texas. If Texas wins, Corey Seager, 31 homers, 92 RBIs. Should Corey Seager get fantasy votes? So that's my question about that. I think Ohtani...
Wait, what's your question? I don't think anybody heard it.
I think they should redefine... Oh, you're full of shit. Okay? Ohtani...
Pete Alonso. Let's talk about Pete Alonso.
Well, Pete Alonso.
Mitchell's here. Hello, Mitchell.
All of a sudden, Pete Alonso has become a real player. I mean, and even as a
not
Met fan,
all of a sudden, everybody the media hates him, so that automatically makes him one of my favorite players.
He's currently averaging 2.35 total bases per hit. For the same, for some perspective on that, by the way, Mark McGwire's 70 home run year put him at 2.5. Alonso, 2.3 total bases per hit. Sammy Sosa was 2.25. I'll tell you what, even though the 45 home run mark isn't as romantic as hitting 50, Alonso has become, if he hits 45, you're expecting it, okay? So I think Pete Alonso... Now,
He's got the second most home runs in baseball, and all that they could do is talk about what a crappy guy he is.
Well, he's not.
He's not a crappy guy.
He's not. According to what I'm hearing in the clubhouse, he's well-liked. He's got his issues with management, and maybe he's not getting...
He's right.
Maybe he feels he doesn't get the credit. He's not played up as a major player.
He doesn't complain about getting credit.
Right.
But they there was a lot of little talk going around about Pete Alonso's attitude and how he does. He likes to smash shit in the dugout, which... Who cares if you smash a cooler? Yeah. That's your passion, right?
That's what he does.
And if you're hitting 45 home runs,
what's your passion?
Don't you have a right to smash a cooler or
what's
two?
What's your passion? And what do you smash? Max Scherzer.
I want to smash you.
Is the only Major League Baseball pitcher with more double-digit strikeout games in the last 10 years than Chris Sale. You hear that? Max Scherzer. The only pitcher with more double-digit strikeout games in the last 10 years than Chris Sale. And that's pretty amazing. And
here's a partial list of starting pitchers who won't finish the season because of injury.
Oh, what a list of starting pitchers.
Now, this is just a partial list.
This is partial.
I want you guys to keep track of how many of these guys were drafted as the first, second, the top 10 pitchers drafted.
Right. And is there any one of these pitchers we're going to mention who's going to be a bargain next year?
Yeah.
If you hear a name that you feel is going to be a bargain because he was injured this season, let us know. It's not everybody. I mean, Jake DeGrom, will he be a bargain next year?
Hold on a minute.
Go ahead.
Mitchell Hartson says if you smash the cooler, you pay for the new cooler.
Right, okay.
It makes me wonder, when these guys do smash coolers like this, do you think they go out, do you think they actually have the common courtesy to go and replace the cooler with their own money?
Who gives a hootenanny?
Well, it's true.
Good morning
should.
To me, Nick.
You should replace the cooler. If you bust it.
Replace the cooler.
If you break it.
We're going to spend Sunday morning talking about should they replace the cooler.
I liked it.
Jake
I thought
DeGrom.
It was a good, intriguing, interesting question.
Will Jake DeGrom go as a bargain next year?
Wait. It's my turn to read the partial list
of
the pitchers who are not going to finish the season.
Yeah, but don't read the whole thing.
Due to injury.
Don't. Jake DeGrom, go!
Scherzer, what is wrong with you?
A lot.
Then you read it.
You won't let me. Jake DeGrom. You Darvish. Any bargains so far, Darvish or DeGrom?
Scherzer.
Is McClanahan a bargain next year.
Robbie Ray, Jeffrey Springs, Tony Gonsolin, Painter, Montas, Cortez, McCullers, Garcia, Marquez, Ohtani.
Yep, there you go. And what about the Yankees now? The Yankees, people say they have no chance. But, wow, the Yankees have won 14 of their last 19. And I don't know.
They don't have a chance. Give me a break. Well, whoever wrote this is full of it.
They're six games out of the
wild card.
Of the wild card.
So give me a break.
And Toronto is falling apart. Seattle could be fine. The Yankees, they have an outside chance. They've got to win just about every game, and other teams have to struggle. But come on, the Yankees.
The Colorado Rockies are ruining life for the Cubbies and the Giants.
Yep.
Okay, they already put a dent in the Cubs' playoff hopes. They won 2 of 3 games earlier this week, and now they're in the process of suffocating the Giants. Okay. They swept a doubleheader yesterday. They won the first 3 games of the series. So here's the upset team of the year. The Colorado Rockies wrecking it for Cubbies and Giants fans everywhere.
Triple plays here. Good morning. Now, here's the thing. Jazz Chisholm. I know he's got an injury thing, but I will...
Everybody says he doesn't perform, right? But he actually does do stuff when he's healthy.
What are you kidding? He's the second player since 1900 to hit a grand slam and steal 3 bases in 1 game.
Yeah, but it's not like he hits a grand slam and steals 3 bases.
No, not every day. Who was the last player who stole 3 bases and hit a grand slam in the same game?
I know it was.
Happened in 2002.
Can I guess?
No, because you have the answer in front of you.
Matt Olson hit his 52nd homer, right? That breaks the tie with Andrew Jones in 2005 for the most in a single season in Braves history. And also, another Brave, Ozzie Albies, he became the 5th different Braves player to reach 30 homers this season, tied with this 2019 Twins team who broke the single season home run record. The Braves are right on their tails. They might actually be leading them right now, but once they finish the season, we'll know if the Braves break the single season home run total. But this Braves team has 5 30-homer guys, and the only team to ever do it is the Twins, who had 5-homer guys in 2019.
I was a guest on the King Hap show yesterday with Taco, and I said, and I want to know if anybody thinks I'm full of bull dinky and poppycock, I said the Atlanta Braves.
I do.
With Matt Olson, Acuna, Riley, Ozuna, and Ozzie Albies, may be the best team in the history of Major League Baseball.
I don't know if you can compete with some of these old Yankee teams and stuff.
Why not? Why not? It's about home runs.
I'm not really sure. If it's about home runs, yeah, you're right. The only team that can compete with them ever is the Minnesota Twins of 2019. Were they the best team in baseball history? No, but they still had 5 guys who hit 30 homers.
And I'm talking about 1 year. 1 year.
Olsen. 1 year.
I mean, come on. Is there a better team?
The 19 Twins.
And then you take a look at the pitching staff. Okay? Atlanta could very well be, the Atlanta Braves could very well be the best team.
I know, you keep saying that, but you have no evidence.
What do you mean no evidence? Look at the numbers. There's more evidence in that than anything else you can have. Okay. Evidence. You know what evidence means?
Just saying no evidence cracks me up so bad.
I mean, and they got Sean Murphy, and they got Orlando Arcia, and Michael Harris, and Max Fried, and this could be. There are some that could say it's the best team in the history of Major League Baseball. That's all I'm going to say. And speaking of...
You got nothing.
A player, Luis Arraez.
Yeah. What's his batting average today?
For half the season, we were wondering if he's going to hit 400. Well, now he's the 3rd Marlins player to hit a leadoff home run in back-to-back games.
Right.
He's changed his program.
So he hits home runs now.
And Luis Arraez.
And not only that he's hit the leadoff homer in back-to-back games, but he's hit 3 home runs in his last 6 at-bats.
Unbelievable. Luis Arraez. And then, of course, you got Ozzie.
I stole that tidbit from you, right? I just interrupted you and took it.
It doesn't matter. Okay. Ozzie Albies, 30th home run. The Braves, 5 players with 30 or more home runs. Ties the Twins, like you just said. It was unbelievable.
The Red Sox got 23 hits against the Orioles last week, and they lost.
And they lost.
And the Yankees got no hits for 10 1/3 innings versus Milwaukee.
And they win.
Yeah.
This is what's making baseball so good today.
Yes.
It's just the fact that there are so many upsets.
3 no-hitters have been broken up in the 9th inning or later in the last 6 days.
6 days, right.
That's the shortest span since 1961 at least, for
Right.
3 no-hit bids to be broken up in the 9th or later. So there you go.
And let's talk about...
Padres are doing okay. They're trying to.
Oh,
they're
hold
really
on a
trying
second.
to
Wait a second.
beat the Oakland Athletics.
Yeah,
which is.
go ahead. You just talk a little, anything.
You want me to wait?
Because I want to talk about 2 pitchers that are going to be very interesting for next year.
Bring it on, Leonard.
Flaherty has been a huge disappointment so far. Jack Flaherty, when he was traded to Baltimore, has not worked out.
Well, he's over his innings pitched.
Okay, whatever. But what are you doing about how much you paying for Flaherty?
This guy needs to spend the entire offseason throwing with Bauer so he could get 100 pitches in every time he goes.
Here she is, still talking about Bauer.
Yes, because he throws balls all day, and he's not weak like Flaherty.
So
Flaherty
how much are you
needs to
paying
be
for
stretched
Flaherty?
out.
How much are you paying for Flaherty
Well,
next
unless
year?
I find out he's throwing pitches every day, 100 a day.
How much you paying for Flaherty?
$5.
That's nothing.
Right.
That's a bargain.
Is that a bargain?
Oh, for Flaherty?
You get freaking 100 innings out of this guy, you're lucky.
Many thought he'd be a top pitcher.
You get 100 innings out of him.
Okay, what about Michael Kopech? His ERA as a reliever is 20.25.
It's just better than Hanser Alberto.
Yeah,
dude.
Hanser Alberto, right.
Okay, Michael Kopech, I thought
it
was a great idea to put him in the bullpen.
Okay.
He has never really been a great. He can't. I mean, look at him. He's another pansy we got who can't go 5 innings, and he doesn't have a lot of pitches. So, Michael Kopech in the bullpen with a 20 ERA. I think that's just a. I don't think that's going to last. He's got to be better than that.
All
right?
Now, we talk about the Yankees, and the 4 members of the Jays rotation have combined for 119
That's
starts.
a lot of starts, right?
At the time when there are so many injuries, to have 4 good starters take the ball. But right now, the Jays are out of the playoff picture.
That's not true.
Well, it's close.
They're not out of the playoff picture.
I predicted Toronto and Philadelphia. And
the Orioles still have a 1-game advantage in the American League East, Eddie and Teresa.
Yeah, go ahead.
How exciting for the Orioles fans. I just can't. It's a great baseball story.
And like I said yesterday, again on the King Hap Show with Taco, that Tampa bullpen is what's carrying them. They have not allowed an earned run in 34 consecutive innings, and that gives them the edge over almost everybody. And mind you, the Oriole bullpen is still quite good, even without Felix Bautista. The name of the game is bullpen. Bullpen. Okay? Yeah. It's bullpen. So Bautista is throwing, and he may even come back. He may, but the Rays bullpen has not allowed an earned run in 11 days.
What happened to our chat room? Is anybody there listening to us?
Anybody in the chat room? Come on, everybody.
I haven't had nothing. Nobody's commenting.
Let's get with it, okay? You know, it's a Sunday morning.
Let's go.
And then we got the games coming on. Do you know that Garrett Cole has walked 3 batters in the first inning for the first time the other day?
I could care less.
I mean, Garrett Cole is definitely sighing. And Julio.
Well, let's do the games now.
We'll get to the games in a second. Julio Rodriguez has more multi-hit games this year than anybody else. James Outman is
in the American League.
In the American League, right? James Outman, the 10th Dodger rookie with 20 home runs.
Danny, are you still awake? We're going to talk about your stupid Dodgers, your pesky Dodgers winning their...
Freddie Freeman, 22 games with multiple extra base hits. The most ever is 25. It's the first time anyone has had more than 20 multi-extra base hits in games in a season since Todd Helton. He did it in 2007.
They are talking. It's just that my chat room was stuck. So.
And let's just talk about Royce Lewis, because you got to say something.
Hurry up.
Hurry up.
That's how you...
What are you in a freaking hurry?
That's how you...
Royce Lewis, first player to hit 4 Grand Slams in an 18-game span. He records his 5th Grand Slam in his 66th career game.
Oh, my goodness.
And that's the fewest games needed in MLB history. The only other player to hit 5 Grand Slams before their 150th game was Rudy York. And the shortest span of games that a player hit 4 home runs, I mean, come
Ralph
on.
Kiner.
Ralph Kiner.
Don Mattingly.
Royce Lewis, 4 Grand Slams this year, tied with Alexei Ramirez for the most in a season, and 4 Grand Slams in 18 games.
All right, let's pull up the box scores.
All right,
up on it.
Let's go to the box scores. Good morning, everybody, and take it away. We had a doubleheader yesterday, the Giants and the Rockies.
Yeah,
Andy,
so let's go through those 2 games.
It's all you. Go.
The pitchers, the San Francisco pitchers walked 7. It was ridiculous. The Colorado Rockies overcame a 3-run deficit. They beat the Giants 9-5 in the opener of the doubleheader. Now, the Giants began the day 1 game behind Arizona and Cincinnati for the final National League wild card. They're also a half game back of Miami. The Rockies have won 2 straight from San Francisco after losing 16 of 17, dating back to 2022.
And Theo Estrada, by the way, 4 hits. He was 4 for 5. He's now batting .275 with a .319 on base percentage, and he's just turned into quite a player. Do you have any confidence that he'll be a pick next year?
Oh,
Are you going to go more than $5 on
I
Theo?
already got him on my team for a lot.
Okay, what about on the Rockies?
Lamont Wade Jr.
Ezekiel Tovar, another 3 hits. He's up to .255. Ezekiel Tovar is a player, in my opinion, but go ahead. Okay.
He had a career-high 4 RBIs and 3 hits.
That's right.
Lamont Wade Jr. leads the Giants with 72 walks this season.
15 home runs.
Yeah, and hit his 15th homer.
Unbelievable.
Ross Stripling made his first appearance for the Giants since he missed 25 games with a back strain. He walked his first batter to end a streak of 169 batters faced without issuing a walk. Gavin Hollowell, 8-out save. It was his first save for Colorado. The second game, the Colorado Rockies beat the Giants 5-2. So the Giants fell now 2.5 games behind Cincinnati and Arizona. And San Francisco did, I told you, dating back to 2022, they won 16 of 17 against Colorado. But they've dropped now the first 3 games of the 4-game series. They've lost 9 straight road games for the first time since '96. And the Rockies swept a doubleheader for the first time since 2014.
Yeah. Chris Bryant continues to hit in the second game, 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a run scored. He's making it tough. People are going to start drafting him next year. All right, and we'll see what happens. I mean, he should be drafted, but
how much
give
are
me
you
a
paying
break.
for Chris Bryant?
You know what? Chris Bryant's going to be underpaid. I could go $11 for Chris Bryant next year.
You probably get him for $6.
Probably. I said I could go 11. That doesn't mean I'm going to go, if somebody bids 5, I'm going to bid 11.
Okay. Kyle Freeland left after 3 innings due to an oblique strain.
Yes.
Tyler Kinley got his 4th save in 6 chances. Scott Alexander, starting pitcher for the Giants, 2 unearned runs in 2/3 of an innings. Charlie Blackmon tripled. And today is Sean Manaea against Chris Flexen. Whit Merrifield hit a winning single in the 13th inning, and the Blue Jays beat the Red Sox 4-3. They move a half a game ahead of Seattle for the 3rd wild card spot. Boston lost for the 9th time in the last 11 games. They lost for the 4th time in 62 opportunities when leading after 6 innings. Chris Sale did good. He allowed 1 run and 2 hits in 6 innings. He walked 2 and struck out 10. The Red Sox starting pitchers have allowed 3 or fewer runs in each of the past 7 games, and Alex Cora said that Chris Sale was looking great, probably the best he's seen him this year.
Looking great. And I'll tell you, this kid Schneider.
Let me finish with this.
Wait a second. We're not done.
I wanted to finish with the pitching.
All right,
Just let me
ahead.
finish with the
Go ahead,
pitching.
finish with the pitching.
Chris Bassett, career high 31st start yesterday, allowed 2 runs and 4 hits in 7 innings. Go ahead.
And this kid Schneider, he's coming back down to earth. We had an 0 for 6 day with 2 strikeouts. So I think.
But Guerrero didn't have an off day.
No, Guerrero is now.
Vladdy Jr.
Vladdy is playing like he's supposed to. 2 for 3, 2 runs scored, and an RBI.
I like him. He reached base 5 times yesterday. 24th home run. Went 2 for 3 with 3 walks. He's homered in 3 consecutive games now for the 4th time in his career. Devers hit his 32nd homer.
And here's the big news. Trevor Story got his 8th stolen base. Now, Trevor Story, he's not the speedster, but he knows how to run. He knows how to play the game. He's one of those that's going to take advantage of the new rules. Trevor Story's going to steal 20 bases next year.
All right, Tristan Casas, 10-day injured list, and they recalled Bobby Dalbec to come and take his place.
Right.
But Cora says that Tristan Casas will undergo an MRI today. Matt Chapman is hitless in 9 at-bats since he was activated off the injured list on Thursday. He missed 15 games because of a sprained middle finger. Tonight you get to see Ryu against Pivetta.
Okay.
Now let me go through the team notes and then the starting pitching, and then you can talk about any players you want.
Just go ahead. We'll fit it in as it comes.
Why do you say no?
Because I'm allowed. Go.
Now that San Diego has a series victory against Bob Melvin's Oakland club, he hopes the Padres can finally pull off their first 4-game winning streak of the season. They're the only team in baseball without one in this year. The A's matched last year's loss total of 102 and have back-to-back 100-loss seasons for the first time since 1964 and 65. Their 204 defeats over the past 2 years are the most in consecutive seasons since 208 back in 64 and 65.
Okay.
Matt Waldron struck out 5 pitching into the 6th for his first major league win. San Diego secured the series by beating the Athletics 5-2. Go ahead.
Now, Geloff
hit
his 12th home. There are 2 Geloff brothers.
Oh.
There are 2 of them.
Zach and who?
I don't remember the guy's first name. But Zach is the guy. And he's batting close to 270. He's hitting home runs. He has 12 home runs. And there are many who still don't know who he is. So, Zach Geloff, he's a player to watch.
Tatis became the first Padres player ever with multiple seasons of 25 homers and 25 stolen bases. He doubled and scored a run. Now, here's a prospect, Joe Boyle. He was around the A's clubhouse when he joined the team yesterday. He will be promoted to the Major League roster today to make his big league debut, but it's only as an opener, and his ERA over 25 starts at Double-A is not good. It's 3.84, so he's not a great, exciting guy. But second baseman Kim was back in the lineup. You're on Atlanta?
Okay, you got, when you talk about Araz, there are 9 players hitting 300, and Araz is batting 351. He had 3 more hits last night, and he's just, I wonder if he can do it again. Yuri Gurriel coming back after a slow start, 2 for 4. You hit his 4th home run yesterday. You want to monitor that. Araz, by the way, hit his 10th home run yesterday. Stole his 3rd base. Wow. Okay. And Schuster for Atlanta, 3 innings. Atlanta, got a couple of problems with their pitching staff. Kirby Yates, who we've been touting as a comeback player, he gave up 4 earned runs yesterday, so we'll have to hold off on Kirby Yates. And Chisholm is. Are you going to touch Chisholm in the first round? He's definitely a first-round player, statistically. But do you have confidence that he can put up the numbers next year?
No. No, I don't. I don't. I don't think he can stay healthy, that's all.
You don't think he can stay healthy. Okay.
Am I wrong about that?
Well, you're not based on what?
Has he been healthy?
What? Yeah, he has a history.
Okay.
But it's not the same injury that keeps him on the bench. I don't know. I'm going to, you know what? Sometimes you take a chance.
Yeah.
And when
Are you going to take a chance in the first round?
Well, you're not going to get him unless you do take a chance in the first round. That's for sure. All right, Rangers and the Guardians.
Jake Berger hit a go-ahead 2-run homer. Jazz Chisholm added a grand slam in the 8th, and the Marlins pulled away to beat the Braves 11-5. The Marlins became the first National League East team to win a series against the Braves. The Braves were 11-0 in their previous series against division opponents. Miami's in a 3-way battle, for the third wildcard spot. Matt Olson, we talked about. Berger, though, 32nd homer and 7th since he joined Miami on August 1st. That's pretty good.
Yep.
Acuna didn't play because of right calf tightness, and Snicker says that Acuna felt... What's his name?
Yeah, Snicker.
Snickers?
Like the candy bar. Right?
No, Snicker.
Snicker, go.
Acuna could have played, but since they clinched the division, it wasn't worth the risk playing him. So... let's see what we got. Michael Harris, solo home run. And Olson, both of these guys home runned off of Brian Hoeing. Hoeing completed 4 in the third innings. He retired 13 of the final batter he faced. He allowed 3 runs on 4 hits, struck out 2 in 56 pitches. And Jared Schuster, 5 runs and 6 hits over 3 innings. Also, Austin Riley hit another homer. Brian De La Cruz did not play for the Marlins. He left after the 3rd inning on Friday, and tonight is Charlie Morton against Jesus Luzardo.
Okay. I like both of the Naylor brothers for next year.
You like Bo and Josh?
I like Josh a little better than Bo. Josh got his 9th steal yesterday. Bo got his 4th steal. I mean, Ramirez got his 25th. But still, this Cleveland team...
These poor Texas Rangers. They'll be really good when they get a couple players back tomorrow.
Like who?
Josh Jung and I think Adolis Garcia.
Yeah, but I don't think that's the answer.
I don't know. I think those are the 2 they're getting back tomorrow.
Tanner Beebe next year.
He hurt himself a little.
$14 player next year. 5 1/3, 1 earned run. He's got an ERA
He only struck out 4.
Under 3, 2.98 ERA. I like him for next year.
Dane Dunning, 5 scoreless innings. Despite giving up 6 hits, 3 walks, and a hit batter, he struck out 5. Shane Bieber, scheduled to throw 65 pitches today in a rehab start for AAA Columbus. And tonight, Gavin Williams is going up against, we don't know because the Rangers haven't announced a starter yet. Oswaldo Cabrera hit a homer yesterday, okay? He credits Roberto Clemente for helping him hit his first home run in more than 3 months.
How does he claim? Yeah,
because him and Esteban Florio visited the Clemente Museum on Friday,
terrific.
And Cabrera picked up one of these heavy bats that was used by Clemente, and he hit a homer with it.
Well, Florio didn't, but Florio he did walk. Maybe he couldn't swing the heavy bat. But remember, Esteban Florio, no matter what he does, do not touch him next year. Do not touch him. I will tell you, next year, Cabrian Hayes will break out. 2 for 4.
First of all, you just said 2 lies in a row.
What do you mean 2 lies? What's a lie?
You said Esteban Florio should never be drafted.
That's not a lie.
And Cabrian Hayes...
He's going to be drafted.
He's going to have a breakout.
He's going to have a breakout. I'm not entitled to say that. Sorry. Sorry about that. Very sorry. And Volpe stole his 24th base.
Stanton hit a solo homer.
24 bases for Volpe. The last Yankee to steal that many bases was Jacoby Ellsbury. Go ahead, baby.
Really?
Go, yes. Stanton
hit his 24th homer. He's 2 for 27 since September 6th. He has 3 hits. Each of them are a home run. Okay. He's batting a career low 195. The Yankees pitchers retired the Pirates' last 21 batters, 15 by the Yankees bullpen. They have an excellent bullpen, by the way.
Okay.
New York is on they're 5-1 on a 7-game trip. They've won 14 of 19. They're 2 games ahead of last place Boston in the AL East. They improved to 3 games over 500 for the first time since August 12th. They've won 5 of their last 6 series, and Pittsburgh Pirates pitchers walked 7 batters. 3 of those guys scored. Luke Weaver gave up 3 runs and 4 hits in 4 innings, struck out 7. That was his first start since he was claimed off waivers from the Mariners. And rookie Johnny Brito retired 9 straight batters. Clay Holmes, 21st save and 24 chances.
How about that?
And you already talked about Brian Reynolds, 27.
And how about this kid Henderson? Okay. Gunner. That's the next game.
We're going to the next game.
I'm excited about it. He had, his 27th home run? 27 home runs.
Grayson Rodriguez pitched 8 innings. Gunnar Henderson homered and drove in 3 runs. The Orioles secured a potentially crucial tiebreaker in the AL East with an 8-0 victory over the Rays. Now, the Orioles extended their streak to 87 consecutive series of at least 2 decisions without being swept. They also snapped a 4-game skid that equaled their season high. After losing the first 2 of this 4-game set, the Orioles moved a game ahead of second place Tampa and clinched the season series against the Rays. That means if the teams finished tied for first in the division, Baltimore would win. Now, whoever wins the season finale today between the Orioles and the Rays will clinch a playoff berth, and it's possible both teams could.
Tyler Glasnow is not going to go cheap. And even when he's healthy, he hasn't been a good pitcher. He gave up 6 earned runs yesterday in 4 innings. So I am staying away from Tyler Glasnow. Now, keep in mind, what we try to do on these, late season podcasts is give you our opinion about players for next year. So take notes if you can. You don't have to agree with us, of course, but I want you to know how we feel.
What is that, Boston Paul? What the hell is that?
What does Boston Paul do?
Some crazy picture.
That's Boston Paul. Go ahead.
What is that?
It's a picture of you. Cincinnati and the Mets.
Can you just be nice to me when we're on air? I don't care if you be nice to me any other time.
Okay. I'm sorry, sweetheart.
Just be nice to me when we're in public, okay?
Okay, go.
Thank you. I don't know what we're doing.
Of course you don't. Encarnacion Strand, 2-run homer. The Reds beat the Mets 3-2. And I'll tell you what, this Cincinnati team, they got so many young players. Fraley, Martini, India, Friedel, Stevenson, the whole deal. Encarnacion Strand, who went 2 for 3 yesterday, played third base, hit his 7th home run. And even De La Cruz, another 2 hits. Benson, I've never, ever seen a team in all the years I'm watching with so many young players. Yeah. How many will emerge as players? On the Mets side, Mauricio, 2 for 4. He's a player. Stewart, 0 for 4. He's on his way down, so don't worry about Stewart. Mauricio stole his 5th base. He's going to steal over 20 next year.
The bullpen for Cincinnati. Yesterday, 4 relievers combined to throw 5 1/3 scoreless innings, and the bullpen in Cincinnati has delivered at least 5 1/3 scoreless innings in a game 6 times this season, but that includes 2 just this week. The Reds are tied with Arizona for the final NL playoff berth. Miami, a half game behind. Did you say the Mets stranded 10 runners, including 6 in scoring position? And the Reds posted their 46th comeback win, tied with Baltimore for the most in the majors.
You picked that up, and that's fantastic. Nobody is as good as you, except me. All right, now Kansas City and the Astros. Altuve just keeps rolling. He's over 300 now. Hall of Famer, Altuve?
Yes.
Yes, I agree with you. Hall of Famer. Kyle Tucker got a hit. He's batting .283. Over on the Kansas City side, Bobby Witt, he's got to be a $25 player next year.
At least.
2 for 3.
I'll draft him in the first round.
He's batting 2. You'll bet. All right, so you'll take Witt over Chisholm?
Yes.
Next year.
Mm-hmm. I know, but it sucks because the Royals are such a bad team. He still puts up the numbers.
Witt over Chisholm? Okay, I'm not even arguing with you. Altuve, by the way, hit home run number 17. And this kid Reagans just keeps pitching. 7 strikeouts. 6 hits in 6 innings. So didn't have a great game, but he just racks up those strikeouts. He's a really terrific strikeout pitcher for next year.
Now, with the Rangers losing 2-1 at Cleveland, Houston maintained a half-game lead in the American League West Division despite their loss. They lost their first road series, dropping 2 of 3 at Dodger Stadium in June. Rain delayed this game by 36 minutes. Okay. You didn't talk about J.P. France.
Well, that's all right.
He allowed 5 runs on 5 hits and 4 walks and 4 1/3. So you got all that. Now, Salvador Perez, a 5th-inning foul tip dislodged his face mask, and he left the game with 2 batters. He left the game 2 batters later, but he has a non-concussive head impact, so he should be back in the lineup today.
Tito Luna is here.
Hello, Tito.
Tito Luna
and
Jeter
Luna.
Was
that his first old time?
First old time? Oh,
you saw that?
Yeah, I saw the pictures.
That's pretty fun.
I love it. I'll tell you what, the guys in the chat room, not only are you fantastic for coming in the chat room, but the pictures that you send me of your kids and stuff like that is just phenomenal.
Well, I want more pictures of the kids.
More pictures of the kids.
Okay.
And you'll get fewer pictures of me. Okay. All right.
So Gavin Sheets and Eloy, they homered during Chicago White Sox 5-run first inning. They beat the Twins 7-6. The Twins had won 3 of 4, but with the loss and Cleveland's victory over Texas, the Twins' magic number for clinching the AL Central title remain at 7. That's a lot. Chicago stopped a 4-game slide.
But I'll tell you what, the White Sox are using the same lineup every day. My feeling, and I'm watching this very carefully, they got Anderson, Benintendi, Robert, Jimenez, Moncada, Vaughn.
Yeah.
Same lineup every day. I think they're going to rebound and have a good season next year.
Okay. What do you think of Tim Anderson? Is he going to do something?
I think he's having a terrible...
He had 3 hits yesterday.
He's batting .245. I like Tim Anderson. Jimenez keeps on hitting home runs. He's got 17 on the season for Jimenez.
Okay.
So it's going to be interesting.
Kyle Schwarber hit his 44th homer. The Phillies beat the Cardinals 6-1. The homer snapped an 0-for-16 slump for Schwarber. His batting average on the season is 197, but his RBI total is now 97, and his home run went 114 miles an hour. It's the hardest hit home run at Busch Stadium this season and his second hardest hit homer of the season. It was his 5th homer at Busch Stadium. He has 22 hits in 136 at-bats in 37 career games in St. Louis. Now, Philly leads the National Wild Card race by 3.5 games over the Cubbies, who have the second of 3 spots. All right, you want to talk about Ranger Swart? You want to talk about some hitters?
Bryson Stott stole his 29th base.
Yeah.
This comes as a surprise. I knew he was a decent hitter, but he's batting .285. That says it all.
Alec Boehm got his 90th RBI of the season. He's the first primary third baseman to reach the mark for Philly since 2001.
And Brandon Marsh batting 8th in the lineup, hitting .286. 374 on-base percentage, and he's batting 8th. I mean, I'll tell you, that's unbelievable. That a .286 batting average, 374 on-base percentage.
Look at their whole lineup has 290. I mean, Kyle Schwarber has the worst average on the team, and he's batting leadoff.
Crazy, he's batting 197.
Jordan Walker reached his 100th hit.
And Castellanos stole his 9th base. Go.
Walker, 100 hits in 21 years and 117 days. He's the 4th youngest Cardinal to reach 100 career hits.
Boy, this is good. And Miles Mikolas, he's just mediocre. 6 innings, 5 earned runs. He's got a 4.8 ERA. But next year, this Cardinal team, they're going to shake it up, baby, big time. Okay, big time. On to the next game. Go ahead.
Mark Hanna, first pitch grand slam off Kyle Finnegan. The Brewers beat the Nationals 9-5. They move a step closer to an NL Central title. They bounced back after blowing a 4-run lead and won for the 13th time in their last 15 home games. They lead the Central by 6.5 games over the Cubbies, who lost 7-6 to the Diamondbacks. Corbin Byrne allowed 3 runs, 3 hits, and 3 walks. Just in the 6th inning.
And C.J. Abrams is melting. He is melting. He's batting .245, 3 strikeouts yesterday. So get
now,
off
Mark Canha is a star, dude. He's batting .313 with a .397 on base percentage with 5 homers and 26 RBIs in 38 games since the Brewers acquired him from the Mets.
Isn't that something? Want to talk about...
hold on.
Want to talk Vanessa's?
3 for 5.
And Corbin Burns, 9 strikeouts, 5 2/3, 4 earned runs. He's not the star that we thought he was going to be. Will he be next year? Your opinion on Corbin Burns? How much you going for him next year?
Less than 20.
Less than 20. Okay.
Yelich had missed. Okay, so Yelich is out for 6 straight days because he has a sore lower back.
Right.
He returned on Friday night, and then he was out of the lineup again yesterday.
Okay.
The Arizona Diamondbacks rallied to beat the Cubbies 7-6. The Diamondbacks, we already told you a million times what they're doing. 4 hours and 24 minutes. This was the longest game of the season. Kyle Hendricks allowed 7 hits and 3 runs. He walked 1 and struck out 3. Davies gave up 5 hits and 3 runs in 4+ innings. He walked 2 and struck out 5. Each team scored in the 10th inning.
Right.
Nico Horner stole third and scored.
Unbelievable. Remember, when he plays second base, he's a different player than playing shortstop.
Go ahead, say more. Corbin Carroll leading off 2 hits yesterday, batting .279 on the season.
I don't know.
You don't like Corbin Carroll, do you?
Not as much as I did. He's fading a little bit.
No, he's not.
And his arm is just brutal.
What did Gurriel do? Lourdes Gurriel.
Yeah, he got 3 hits yesterday. He's up to .261 batting average, so he's doing pretty good.
Miguel Cabrera hit a tie-breaking single in the 10th inning. The Detroit Tigers beat the Angels 5-4 after they blew a 3-run lead in the 9th. Now, yesterday, they gave Miguel Cabrera a surfboard as his going-away present. Yeah, for his retirement. It was his last time over there in Los Angeles.
Very nice.
We already know Ohtani's out, but Sawyer Gipson-Long struck out 11. It was his second major league start. He allowed 2 hits over 5 innings. He won his debut last Sunday, and Detroit won for the 5th time in 7 games, and they're 10-5 since August 31st.
I like Detroit next year. I like them. Put money down on the Tigers for next year to make the playoffs. You'll get some good stuff with that. Okay?
Nolan Schanuel homered and had 3 hits.
Yep.
He's reached base in all 21 major league games he's played in, extending his club record.
Yep.
Walsh hit his 3rd home run of the season and 2nd in 2 nights, and Lang ended up with the win. But Jared Walsh was limited to 30 major league games this season because of neurological issues. And Schanuel and Jordan Adams were the only 2 Angels batters who did not strike out against Gipson-Long, who gave up 1 run and walked 3. He struck out 5 consecutive batters between the 3rd and the 4th innings. Anderson permitted 4 runs on 4 hits and 5 walks with 7 strikeouts in 5 innings. I told you about the surfboard. Mike Trout, Albert Pujols, everybody was there.
If you had to buy me a gift, would you buy me a surfboard?
Yeah,
okay,
definitely, because you're that good at surfing.
I just want you to know
C.J. Cron was activated from the injured list.
He's going to be traded. You'll see.
When?
In the offseason.
Okay. Tonight, Miguel Diaz and Reed Detmers. So the Dodgers secured yet another National League West crown with a 6-2 victory. And
Jason Haywood got 4 hits. The guy's playing crazy. His batting average now is what, .277. Jason Haywood hit a double yesterday, his 3rd one. Jason Haywood on
Boston
the Dodgers.
Paul's going to pay $25 for Burns at least.
Good. What is he going to pay for Kershaw, who only went 4 innings yesterday, struck out 4? Okay.
Top 30 pitcher, is that worth $25? A top 30 pitcher?
Corbin Burns?
No, I'm getting the top 30 pitcher for like $16.
No, you're not.
Top 30?
Oh, yeah, maybe.
The Dodgers secured, I told you, it's the 10th division title for the Dodgers in the past 11 season. After 9 scoreless innings of terrific pitching on both sides, each team got a key at bat from a pinch hitter in the 10th. Colton Wong's sacrifice fly gave the Dodgers a 1-0 lead, but Mike Ford answered with a 2-out RBI single to score Josh Rojas and tie the game at 1. Now, Seattle had a chance to win it in the 10th, but Teoscar Hernandez grounded into a force play with the bases loaded and ended the threat. So Kershaw pitched 4 innings in his return to the mound. It started off shaky. He walked 2 of his first 3 batters, but he quickly settled in. He allowed 2 hits and struck out 4 in 55 pitches. Bryce Miller, 4 hits and 4 strikeouts. The only batter to reach third base against him was your boy, Jason Hayward.
Yep, that's right.
Hayward had 3 doubles for the 3rd time in his career, and Teoscar Hernandez extended his on-base streak to 30 games with a walk in the first inning. It's the longest active on-base streak in the majors and the longest this season by a Mariners player.
Well, I can only tell you, you've done a wonderful job.
Oh, thanks, Leonard.
Just a great job.
You can tell me how you really feel after the show.
Yeah, after the show. Great
Why
job.
do you have PPP?
Because this is where we ended. And
this is where you start tomorrow, your tidbits?
Thank you very much, everybody, for listening in. Let's just go through everybody. SM King Turd, Tito Luna, Tommy Johnson. You got the triple play. Good morning. We didn't see you hiding. Meryl Mitchell, Laura, Leonard Donaldson,
Mary,
Jeremy Gibbs, Mary, James Caplion, Eddie Hickman,
and
Danny
Teresa,
Fuller, Teresa,
and Penny,
and Desert Premier, and Chris from Cambridge, and Boston Paul, and Big Al, and everybody's here. Love you people. You're the greatest, and we thank you. And don't forget, we're going to be doing this all year long. We'll figure out how to do it.
How many years have we done it all year long?
I don't know.
Since I met you.
It's over my
15 years.
This is my 30th year of broadcasting baseball. Thanks, everybody.